Hey guys, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a Nesta inspired makeup look. So I just finished reading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas and it was so good. I'll talk a little bit more about this book while I'm doing my makeup. But I just thought it'd be really fun to do a makeup look inspired by Nesta, who is the main character of this book. And quick shout out to my friend Steph for thinking of this idea. Props to you, such a good idea. I really love doing makeup. It's a passion of mine. I'm definitely not a makeup artist or a professional in any way, so like take everything I say with a grain of salt today, but I just thought it would be fun to again do a look inspired by Nesta. And again, this isn't, you know, me trying to look like her or do my makeup in a way to try to look like how I picture the character, but more a makeup look inspired by her, you know, her character as a whole, her character development, and her character description. So yeah, if you're wondering why I look crazy, it's because I already did my eyebrows and I don't have any other makeup on. I have a little bit of concealer just so that I don't look super blotchy. But yeah, only have my eyebrows done, so it looks a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna jump right in and start doing my eye makeup and talking you through each step, why I'm choosing to do things the way I am, you know, kind of where my inspiration comes from. So let's jump right in. Okay, so before I start, I kind of want to give a little bit of like where I'm getting this inspiration from and why I'm choosing to do the makeup that I'm going to be doing. Is in the beginning of this book, Nesta is in a really dark place. She has a lot of PTSD from things that have happened previously in A Court of Thorns and Roses, the original trilogy. She has just a lot of guilt and resentment and a lot of just built up like anger towards, you know, a lot of other people in her life. So because of that, I'm kind of getting a more like darker, you know, darker grays, brown, blacks, kind of things like that to kind of represent like that portion of her life and kind of represent that like darkness that she's in at the beginning of the book. And then obviously through the book she has a lot of character development and she grows a lot as a character, right? And also throughout the book they always mention her like silvery eyes. So again, no spoilers, but she has this kind of thing about her eyes where they kind of look like silver flames. So it's kind of, you know, where we get the title of the book. So I kind of wanted to bring in that like silvery aspect to the look as well. And then I also kind of want to keep it very like sharp and like, you know, pointed kind of, if you will. So I'm going to be going with kind of more of like a cat eye and more of like sharper lines than so much blended, because again, she has a lot of anger and, you know, guilt and resentment towards people, and she's not exactly the most loving person. So I kind of want to represent her sharpness with like the sharpness of the look, if you will. I hope that's making sense. I'm obviously not a makeup person, so I'm probably not explaining it that well, but you'll kind of see as I start. So yeah, just kind of give you a quick where I'm going with this look. Those are kind of my initial thoughts, and I've only done this look once before. It was kind of like a test before I filmed it, so hopefully, you know, I don't change it up too much and it kind of comes out looking the way I want. But you know, we'll go with the flow, and if it changes, it changes. It's just makeup, you know. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be something that I'm stressing over, right? It's just supposed to be fun. And so okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and let's get started. So my first step is to kind of just prime the lids, kind of get them all to be one color. I'm gonna go in with just this, oh my god, this is gonna be hard, this Kosas concealer. I have shade 2 because I'm pretty pale clearly, so I'm just gonna put this a little bit on my lid just to kind of get rid of, as you can see like the veins, and you can see a little bit of like the redness and stuff. So I kind of just want to give myself like a one color base, just so that when I put the eyeshadow on top, I don't have to then kind of go over the redness and the veins and stuff. It kind of gives me just like a painter, they want just like a plain canvas to start. So that's what I'm gonna do first. Gonna do a little bit of that. Oh god, this is gonna be weird. Sorry if I keep looking down, that's just where all my stuff is. And then I'm just gonna take this flat brush. It is a Coastal Scents flat brush. I don't know, it doesn't have a name, but I got this probably like a decade ago when like Coastal Scents was like everything, and they had that like huge like 20-30 color eyeshadow palette for like 20 bucks. And like, anyway, so it's a Coastal Scents brush, and I'm just gonna basically just try to even out the redness on my eye. So again, you just don't need too much, you just need enough that that's kind of gonna like, as you can see, cover the veins a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is also going to act as a primer. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's also going to act as a primer, so the concealer is kind of going to give me a somewhat of a sticky base, right? So that when I put the eyeshadow down, it really grabs onto the eyeshadow, just so I get like the full color pigment and it's not like fading, because again, I want them to be a little bit darker and a little bit sharper. So I'm not gonna really like want it to be faded and really softly blended. I kind of want it to like pack a punch. Okay, so that is just the concealer, again, just to kind of give me a good base. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Kylie Cosmetics, like his bronze palette, I think is what it's called. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite palettes. As you can see on the back, it's pretty much completely like worn down. I can't even really see the shade names anymore. And as you can see in here, like this is very much loved. I use it all the time. It's like one of my favorite, just like brown neutral palette, because I really like how it has both like warm tone colors, which would be like this orangey one, and then more like a cool tone color, like this kind of neutral brown. I hope you guys can see that. But yeah, so because I'm gonna go in with more of like a silvery black color, I'm gonna use this one right here because it's more of that cool tone neutral color, not want more of these like warm tone like orangey shades, because I don't really want to mix the warm and the cool. I really want it to feel cooler and black. And what I mean by cooler is like cool colors, so like, you know, purples, silvery, blues, those are more of the cool tones, and then warm tones are obviously like your reds and your oranges and stuff. So I'm gonna go more of a cooler tone look with this. So I'm just grabbing some of that on my brush, tapping it off. I'm using this palette just because it has a mirror and the Kylie one doesn't. So again, that's why I'm using this one, but I'm dipping into the Kylie palette. So I'm just gonna go in and just kind of tap it first, just so that I don't deposit all the color in one spot and then it's like not blended at all. But I'm just gonna go in and tap that right there, kind of right in my crease. I hope I'm explaining this okay. And just kind of lay that color down, kind of also set that concealer that I used as primer, kind of a 2-in-1. I'm just building the color a little bit. So again, I want it to be a slightly darker look. And then at the end, I'm just kind of pulling it up because I do want to go into a cat look, like a cat eye here. So I want it to kind of pull up at the end here to kind of give that illusion of kind of like the... Okay, that's a good start, and I'm just gonna do the other eye. Oh, and I forgot to mention what brush I was using for that kind of upper crease area, and that is, this is a Costco brush. Again, I got this probably like 10 years ago. It's just so good. It's just a kind of fat blending brush. I honestly don't know. It doesn't, oh, crease eye. That's super specific. So again, I got this at Costco like so long ago. I haven't seen it at Costco for years, so it's definitely not there. So sorry, that's not really helpful if you're looking for a good crease brush, but if you are looking for a good crease brush, I can leave some down below if you guys want. Okay, so my next step is going to be, again, digging back into that Kylie palette, and I'm gonna go in with this black right here, and I'm gonna put it all over my lid. So I'm gonna first go in with my finger, try to get it as dark as I can right across that whole lid, and then I'll go in with this kind of, again, another flat brush. This one's a little bit thicker so that it'll pick up a little bit more of that color. And again, this is another Coastal Scents brush. Sorry, I've used these brushes forever. They're just good, and I just kind of stick with them because I like them. And like I said, once I get that color down, as you can see, it's kind of messy. I'm gonna go in with this brush and kind of just fill in the holes and kind of blend it up into the crease, and then I'll blend them together. And I'm kind of doing like this tapping motion to really like pack the color on. Okay, and then once it's all over the lid like that, not super blended, I'm gonna go in with this like smaller blending brush, and this one is actually a Morphe brush. There's no number, so that's not helpful, but it's just like a small kind of tapered blending brush to kind of get right into that crease area and kind of blend that first color and that black together. Okay, and once we got that started to get blended, I'm gonna go back into that big blender brush and just smooth out the line a little bit more. And again, just kind of bringing it up at that end to kind of give that little like whew illusion. Okay, and once I kind of have that pretty much blended, I'm gonna go back with this brush and just make sure that that black is as black as it can be on the lid. And then just blending one more time to make sure that that is like a seamless transition. Okay, so that's what we have so far, and I'm gonna make the other eye match. Okay, so that's pretty good. I know it looks a little bit crazy right now, but we're gonna clean it up a little bit. So the first step, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer and just clean up the outsides a little bit. Again, I want a little bit of a sharper line. I don't want it kind of like dropping down here. I want to keep it like kind of up and lifted. Again, I'm gonna go in with that same concealer and kind of just like clean up the wings a little bit. And with that same Coastal Scents brush from before. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, that pretty much made a huge difference. It looks a lot cleaner, and it's really lifting my eye a little bit more now than it was before. You just want to make sure that you're going at the same angle, so you don't want this one to be like down and that one to be super up. You kind of want to follow that natural line of your eye. Okay, we'll clean up a little bit more later, but that is good for now. So as you can see, kind of a big difference, just that one step alone. Okay, so the next step, or the next, I guess, 2 steps are kind of like the harder part of this makeup look, and that is going to be the glitter eyeliner that I'm going to do. And I'm doing like a silverish glitter eyeliner because, again, they talk a lot about her eyes being like this silver flame, so I kind of want to incorporate blacks and like silver and like kind of all of that to kind of give that feeling. So I'm first going to go in with this e.l.f. glitter glue with this I have no idea what this is called, this type of brush. This is an aesthetics brush. I have no idea where I got this, probably in my BoxyCharm if I had to guess. So I'm going to go in, and I'll show you guys in a second. I'm going to put a little bit of glitter glue on here, and then I'm going to just draw like a winged eyeliner like I would if I was just using a liquid liner. And then, so once I go in with that glue, then I'll grab the glitter and I'll just tap right onto the glue, and then it'll kind of give me that line. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit clearer what I'm doing here. So nice up close and personal, you guys can see me. I'm going to grab my glitter glue. I'm just going to like push a little bit out. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Push a little bit out and then kind of just grab it with the brush, and then I'm just going to draw like I would a winged liner. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just makeup. Okay, and then before that can dry too much, I'm going to go in with the glitter. Damn, this is harder than it looks. I don't know how the beauty community does this all the time. So many different things. So as you can see, I'm just tapping it on there. And I'm just putting it anywhere I put that glue. Woo! She's potent. It looks a little bit crazy, but with the mascara on in a little bit, it'll tame it down a little. I feel like makeup always looks crazy, and then you put mascara on last and you're like, it just tied it all together and it looks so much better. Does anyone else feel like that? And again, I want to make that wing kind of nice and sharp so that it kind of gives us that illusion. Ooh, that's fun. So yeah, it kind of feels like flamey. We're getting like silver, we're getting sparkle, you know. I'm kind of liking it. Okay, that is one eye, and I will do the other eye off camera and be back. Okay, and that is both eyes with the glitter. Obviously, it still looks a little bit crazy, but again, we will clean it up. And once we put mascara on, it'll look much better. Yeah, I find the hardest part about like liquid eyeliner or this like look is just making them match. Like putting the glitter on each eye is like what it is, right? But making sure that they like are at the same angle and at a similar length. I think it's good enough though. Okay, moving on. Okay, and the final step of my eyes before obviously the mascara is just going to be some black eyeliner in the waterline, because again, I want to make this look really sharp, pretty dark, and kind of intimidating, because I feel like Nesta's character is intimidating at times. So I want to put a little black eyeliner right in that waterline just to kind of make everything come together, bring in the lower lash line. So we'll add that, and then I'll go clean up the glitter, get that off my face, and then I'll come back, finish up the face, kind of put my mascara on while I talk about the book a little bit more, and then that will be it. And this is just a Maybelline Define-A-Line Soft Black, I guess like crayon or rollout liner, I don't know. So you can see it makes a pretty big difference, and once I put the mascara on, I think everything will come together and it'll look much better. Okay, so I'm just gonna go wipe the extra glitter off my face and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back and still looking crazy, but let's see if we can kind of turn this look around. Okay, so just to kind of go back to the face here, because you know, we don't want to have kind of like a dark look on our eyes and not really any face makeup, so I'm gonna just bronze up a little bit with the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and I'm gonna use this e.l.f., I guess, angled brush. I like to use it for bronzer. You can use it for blush probably. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, not too much, and just kind of put bronzer where bronzer goes, I guess. Again, this look is mostly about the eyes, but just kind of looks silly to do this all this eye makeup and then not do anything on the face. Don't want to forget the jaw. Kind of chisel out your face a little bit. And I'm not going to go with any blush today because one, I just naturally kind of lean red, and also because again I want to keep this look really cool toned, so I don't want to have like bright red or orangey peachy cheeks. And to just finish the face off, I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlighter, and for this I'm going to be dipping into the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette. And I'm going to be using this kind of like whitish silver, and I'm going to put this both on my cheekbones, my nose, and then in my inner corner to brighten up the eye a little bit. Woo! She's pigmented. And I'm just going in with my finger. I just find that just kind of is a little bit more natural looking, and this is like clearly a super pigmented highlighter. So I don't want to look so shiny, even though we're kind of getting there real fast. All right, that's pretty. Kind of brings out the silver in the eye. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go in with this like super small brush, as you can see here. And this is another Coastal Scents. Sorry. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that. Again, kind of just bringing out that like silver flame that we're talking about. So when the light that was annoying, but when the light kind of catches it and it kind of brings out the colors and different things highlight, it kind of feels like it's like fiery, alive, it's moving, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm going for here. I also like how it like obviously kind of brightens the eye and they don't feel so super dark anymore, even though, you know, we obviously used a lot of black. Okay, and to finish this look, I'm gonna go in with some mascara, and I'm gonna use my favorite Thrive mascara. I've talked about this before. I just think it's the best. I think with a look like this, you probably could use falsies, but I just don't really feel like putting them on. And with these, it kind of gives me the illusion of fake lashes. It really does help that much. Again, it's not sponsored or anything. I really just love this product. And also while I put this on, I'm going to talk about the book, because again, I just haven't really done that yet. I mean, I loved this book. I would give it a 6 out of 5 if I could. Like, it's just genuinely so good, and the character development in this book is crazy. Like the way that Nesta starts off in the book, from kind of where we left her off at the end of the last trilogy to kind of where she gets by the end of this book, is so good. Like, and I just think like so relatable for people that struggle with either like regrets or guilt or like PTSD or any type of like mental illness, where like they're just in such a dark place. Like her journey, I don't know, I just think it's so well written and so interesting. And like Feyre goes through something similar in the original Court of Thorns and Roses series, where she has something bad happen to her and she struggles to kind of like deal with her trauma. And I just think that the way that they handled it differently could be, you know, you could relate to either one, and one struggled with it more, and that's okay that she was struggling. And I don't know, I just think that it was like that character development of Nesta, it was just so good. Okay, well, I let that first layer dry. I'll talk a little bit more about the book. And another thing that I loved about this book, obviously, is that we get to learn more about our, main characters from our original trilogy. So we get to see Feyre, we get to see Tamlin, Rhys, we even get to see more of like Azriel or Azriel, I don't know how it's pronounced. We learn a little bit more about like Mor and Amren and kind of all those other people. Like, I just love that because like I loved the original trilogy so much, so to be able to like learn more about the characters and see where they are now, a year or whatever later from that original trilogy, like I just love that because I want to know everything about like Feyre and Rhys and all of them. I would say it's kind of already coming together with this mascara. It kind of just, again, I don't know why mascara makes such a difference, but it just looks so much cleaner. Like the silver looks, I think, better. It's not so like jarringly like a white silver line kind of above your eye. It kind of hides it a little bit, but again, I kind of like that I'm not using falsies so that you can still see the silver because it's not kind of hidden behind a thick wall of fake lashes. Another thing I liked about this book is that we get to see a little bit more about the world that I guess Prythian is in. So they live on the island of Prythian. That's kind of like the continent. It's not really an island, I guess it's more of a continent that like the main story takes place on. And in the first trilogy, we're really only in Prythian. We get a little bit of Hybern, we learn about the continent, but it really takes place on Prythian. And here we're learning more about different continents in the world that aren't just kind of the original three, and the different people and I guess like species, because there's like Fae and there's humans and there's this and there's that. So we get to kind of see a little bit more of the world, and we're traveling a little bit more, and it's just kind of creating like a deeper, more like I guess like bigger world and fantasy story. I hope I'm explaining that right. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little bit more mascara just to make sure it's kind of as it can be, because this look I think calls for it, and then I will be right back. Okay, and that is the final look. I obviously know what you can think of my lips. I really don't like to wear like lipstick or anything like that. It's just not really for me. I like to just kind of leave them plain. So yeah, that is the final look. What do you guys think? I actually think it came out really fun. A little bit different than I expected. A little bit more like Halloween-y, to be honest. But yeah, this is the look that I came up with that is inspired by Nesta. Also, just to mention about the book that I haven't talked about before, this steam in this book, and like I've mentioned it before on my channel, but not just in this video, but if you're looking for a steamy book, you will not be disappointed with this book. Sarah J Maas is kind of known for her steam in her books. I haven't read a Sarah J Maas book that wasn't steamy, but this one is definitely the steamiest book by her that I've read. I just think she really took it there, and I'm not mad about it, but it was a little bit surprising, but in a good way. So yeah, this is the look. Please let me know what you guys think if you liked this video. If you guys liked this video, I would love to do other makeup looks inspired by other characters, whether it is Sarah J Maas character or someone else. I think it would be really fun to do like Poppy, or even to do like Rhys or Tamlin from the original Court of Thorns and Roses series. I think it would be fun to kind of see what looks like and be inspired by them and kind of their powers. So if you haven't read the original trilogy, you wouldn't know that in Prythian we kind of have 7 different like courts or different like sections, and each court is kind of separate, and they're either like seasons or like times of days. So we have like the spring court, the summer court, the day court, the night court, kind of all of those things. So I think it would be fun to do a look inspired by each different court, and spring can be like pretty greens or pinks, and night could be like a darker look like this with the, kind of looks like stars, and winter could be maybe more of like a white and blue. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but if you guys like this, I would love to do more videos like this. So just let me know what you guys think. Yeah, let me know if you guys like this look. I wouldn't definitely wear this out. Like, it's definitely a little bit too over the top for me to wear out in public, but I definitely had fun making this look, and I will enjoy wearing it around the house tonight, and seeing what my roommates think. Maybe I'll film their reaction. I think that could be fun. So yeah, as always, please like this video because it really supports my channel and it lets me know if you guys like content like this. Please subscribe if you are not already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!
Oh my god, I love it.
You do?
Screams evil princess, definitely.
I mean, she's not, but.
Well, that's what I got.
Oh, I love the glitter liner. It's so pretty.
No, I love that. Can you do that on me sometime? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, lady. It's gorgeous.